Happy Friday, guys. Let me tell you, it's been quite the crazy week so far. Cheers. I appreciate you all for tuning in. As believe it or not, stocks are actually slipping right now. Pretty much every index here in the US is down except for what? The Russell, which is up what? A quarter percent. Not much. So we have to break down the charts, what I'm doing, individual stocks I'm watching, and overall where my head's at in this crazy market. So guys, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe. That helps me out overall in the algorithms here, right? And join my Patreon if you want to keep up with my portfolio updates, my trades, investments, and if you want to be a part of my private Discord, all that's linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stassurfest.com/Patreon. It's in the bio. You guys know where to find it. And now let's dive into it. So it's about 11:30 a.m. here on the East Coast, so we still have a lot of time left in the day, but we are down on all these indices except for the Russell, which is up a quarter percent. Not bad. We hit all-time highs, I believe, yesterday on the Russell, and today, guys, we hit 3,066 on the Russell, another all-time high, as the S&P, looking at SPY, is down about a quarter percent, and this hit all-time highs, I believe, yesterday. So, I mean, does it even matter that we're down today? All these indices, except for one, have been hitting all-time highs. So who gives a crap if we're down a little bit, especially on a Friday, especially after all the green that we've seen? So, yeah, SPY's down a quarter, but we're still above these moving averages. We have a golden cross. We're breaking out of this channel that we were in for a couple months. This is all bullish, right? Even if SPY pulled down to 760, 765, another $10, $15 drop from here, the bulls would still be in charge. You guys can see on the Dow, it's down about a quarter as well. Quarter percent down about 100 points, but this is also well within an uptrend. We just hit all-time highs a couple of days ago on the Dow, just under about 55,000 points. We can see, let's see, guys, the Qs are down 0.5%, so they're leading the losses today. They didn't hit all-time highs yet, but we're still breaking out. This thing is still breaking out of this channel. We have a golden cross. We're above these moving averages. What more could you ask for, right? This looks very good, even though we're down on the day. And believe it or not hard to believe, right? A lot of individual stocks are moving, even though we're down across the board, except for the Russell. So let me show you some of these stocks that are moving. And guys, some of these stocks are defying the laws of gravity. Nebius is up another 5%. We're trading at 270 right now, which I think we hit 270 yesterday. Did we? Let me pull the 5-day. Yeah, we hit 275 yesterday, and it pulled back intraday yesterday, and it closed at what, 250, 255. And we consolidated all aftermarket yesterday, all pre-market today, and now clearly we can see out of the gate we popped. We hit 257 at open, and we ran all the way to 270, saw a little pullback, retested 260. We popped off that. So Nebius, even though it's up a lot of people think it's overbought. I'm pretty sure Burry doubled down on his short in this stock as well. The bulls are still fighting, even though we're seeing it's overbought, people are shorting it. The bulls are still fighting, and the fact that we held 250 yesterday in the pre-market at close, in the aftermarket this morning we held it at open, and we popped. That goes to show the bulls are still in charge. And if we take out the highs from yesterday, I don't know if we do that today, but that would really show the bulls are really still in charge. And at that point, I mean, Nebius could be going back to $300 a share, which I guess it technically never hit 300, at least what I'm based on what I'm seeing on Thinkorswim here. We hit 299.86, so we got close. But I think if we take out the highs from yesterday, Nebius, it could get to 300, maybe higher. But at that point, it would be overbought. I mean, it's already up 100% off the lows. How much more could it go up here without seeing a pullback, or before us seeing a pullback in the stock. GLW's up on the day about 4.5%. Corning, which I added more yesterday. I'm sure you guys saw that if you're in my Patreon. And I sold covered calls on Corning as the premiums are through the roof. Implied volatility on this stock is high. I literally collected $500 in premium per contract sold on this stock. I sold I think 195 calls that expire. Let me see if I can find it here, guys. I sold in my one account, in the Patreon account, I sold, let me see, the $195 calls, and I collected just under $500 in premium per contract. And it is insane. It's insane how high the premiums are, how high implied volatility is, and I'm taking advantage of that. And I think ultimately, look, Corning, does it get to $195 before September? I think I sold the September 18th. Yeah, does it get there before that date? I don't think it does. Maybe it does. I don't know. Even if it does, I'm fine giving up the stock there. Hence why I picked that stock price or that strike. You have to pick strikes you're comfortable where you're comfortable giving up your stock at. So I am comfortable giving up stock there, but I just don't think it gets there by September 18th. Maybe it does. That implies, though, a 20% move from here. Maybe it does. Maybe it gets there, but I don't think it will, and I'll just continue collecting premium while holding this stock for the midterm. This is not a super long holding for me, but I am planning on holding it for a little bit, and I'll collect premium, couple $100 a month or a couple thousand, depending on how much across my accounts I do, sell covered calls on, depending on, how I'm feeling. And I'll continue doing that. In the meantime, while holding on at Corning, the premiums are through the frickin' roof. So unbelievable day for Corning so far. Maybe not unbelievable. I don't want to blow it out of proportion. We're not actually fully breaking out yet, but I think this inverse head and shoulders does play out in due time, and we could start taking out 170, 175, which that is the real breakout spot on Corning. Let me see what else is moving here, guys, on the watch list. Redwire, which I sold my calls on. Well, I locked in profits, which I bought those $10 in the money calls a couple weeks ago, right? You guys remember that expired in January, and I decided to lock in profits a couple days ago, but I'm still watching it. Look, I'm still watching it, and if it does end up breaking out of $15, I might re-enter Redwire calls, or Redwire stock for that matter. We'll see, but as of now, I felt comfortable. Let me lock in these profits, right? I took the cash. I bought more Corning. I'm selling covered calls. This is the game of investing, guys. The idea is you want to keep the money in your portfolio for as long as possible and continue, compounding that money. That's the idea. Personally, I don't take my money out of the portfolio right now, for my investing, for my trading, because I'm lucky enough to have all this, social media stuff going on, and I'm lucky enough to be able to pay my bills and, feed my family off of social media to the point where, I could draw down my account. Sure, I could take profits. I'm making money in the market, but I'm at a point where I've built up my following. I have like 500,000 followers across all these platforms, and I don't spend a ton of money. I'm a decently, frugal guy, not too crazy. Look, I live life, but I can pay my bills on, on the social media income, and I keep all my investing money continuing to compound. And that's the idea, right? Keep your money invested, have an emergency fund, have cash on the sideline so you don't have to pull out of your investments. I love doing this, man. I trade, I take that money, I buy longer term investments, I sell covered calls, I do this, I do that strategy, and it just continues to compound. And that's the idea, man. That is the idea, whether you have your own business, a job, right? Whatever, maybe 9 to 5, you're a 1099, whatever you are. Make sure you continue to compound your money and do whatever you can not to draw down on that money, in your working years, right? In your years where you're growing that money, growing the portfolio, it's important to continue to keep that money invested, right? So that's a quick rundown on those couple of stocks, the overall market. And it looks like some names, a good amount of names, are taking a beating today. SpaceX is down about 3-4% on the day. Stocks like CrowdStrike are seeing a pullback, which honestly, it's due. I think CrowdStrike in the low 200s is a buy in my opinion, but then again, we have earnings coming up on the 26th, the same day as Nvidia, so maybe it's wise to wait until earnings before making a move on CrowdStrike, trading at all-time highs. That's what I'm gonna do. I used to own this stock. I should have just held it, but I locked in gains, and man, this thing's been on fire ever since the 4-for-1 stock split, and well before that. This thing hit $80-$90 back in the beginning of the year. Now we're well over 200, so I think it's overbought, but I think we do get a pullback, maybe even into earnings, and that could be the opportunity that we're waiting for. Stocks like Groupon, I'm still watching very closely. We can see Groupon hit $30 a share about a week ago. Now it's trading in the low 20s. It's, gathering its footing, if you will, in the low 20s, maintaining this uptrending channel. The charts look good. The earnings that came out were solid. And I think it's going to rebound, but we're not there yet. We have to wait for the confirmation. It's coming in due time. Another one I'm watching is Dave, ticker DAVE, pretty easy one to remember here. This stock hit 450 back in July, end of July, and the company reported earnings, and the stock actually started selling off before earnings, and then after earnings, man, it tumbled. It went all the way down to 300. That was a drop of 35% from the high. But then again, the stock went up so much heading into earnings. This stock hit $150 back in February, so it ran up a lot, got a bit overbought. Earnings came out, they were solid. Stock pulled back. Now we're seeing buyers come in. Are you noticing a higher low being put in here? Buyers are coming in on Dave. I think this continues. This is a nice continuation play, very similar to Groupon and a couple other stocks here that I'm watching, but really those two main ones are continuation plays, and I'm keeping a close eye on them. So happy Friday, guys. Not a crazy day in the market in either direction. It's just kind of a, regular old Friday, which I can't complain about. I'm cool with that considering we've been hitting all-time highs. Stocks are going nuts. Yeah, nothing like a chill Friday. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe and join my Patreon if you want to keep up with my portfolio updates, my trades, investments. If you want to be a part of my private Discord, all that's linked down below, pinned in the comments, in the description box, or go to stossurfest.com/Patreon. And with that being said, cheers. I'll see you all in the next video or in the Patreon. I'll see you there.